All right, the war just got real, folks. We have struck their narcos in their boat. Military strikes, the cartels. First time I've ever seen this happen. It's all over social media right now. I don't know, Alex, you want to show the boat getting hit real quick? I got 𝗬𝗏 about to join us. Folks, I got 50% off right now, and it's only going to be for a limited time. I don't know if I'm going to pull the plug tonight or tomorrow, but there's the boat. Bam, 50% off. Nino'sCorner.tv right now on everything, including the General's tent. Get over there, sign up. It's 50% off, folks. That's the best I can do. There we are. There's the boat getting hit. Bam! Gets taken out. These are cartels. And Trump put out a Truth Social post saying, earlier this morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a kinetic strike against positively identified Tren de Aragua, narco-terrorist in the Southcom area of responsibility. TDA is a designated foreign terrorist organization operating under the control of Nicolas Maduro, there's a $50 million bounty on his head, responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and acts of violence and terror across the United States and Western Hemisphere. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters transporting illegal narcotics heading to the United States. Folks, this is the way it needs to be done. When they say war on drugs, it was never really a war, was it? This is a war. We've got battleships surrounding Venezuela right now. Maduro is amassing his military, and strikes are beginning. It makes a lot of sense now, in my mind, what the whole good night post meant on Truth Social. And Alex, I don't know if you want to show that real quick. There it is. Good night. Boom, boom, boom. Exclamation mark, exclamation point. So this to me seems like it's on. And I've always talked about cartel warfare. Is there going to be blood on the streets? Now, if you were the cartels and you're getting plummeted, obviously you're getting annihilated. You have no choice but to fight back. It's for your survival. But they will get annihilated. They will get wiped off the face of the earth. But will blood hit the streets of America? And I'm going to be talking to Juan about that right now. Juan, are you there?
I am there, Nino.
Juan, what is going on? Crazy that we even hit the narcos. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've heard of us, intercepting the drugs, arresting them maybe, or turning off their engines, but I've never seen a strike like this in my life.
Well, of course, that the drugs on that boat could easily have killed thousands of people. Some of the drugs that are coming in right now are way, way stronger than anything we've had before. And, when I was in South Africa the other day, the important thing that people were discussing behind the scenes is all the drugs coming in through Cape Town and the southern regions. Those drugs were coming off of Chinese boats that had picked the drugs up off the coast of Venezuela. So
Wow.
We've got our Navy out patrolling the border, the seaside of Venezuela, to stop the drugs from coming out and then getting transferred to other ships at sea. And so, making sure that they know just how serious we are. They're terrorizing the world and killing over and over and over and over. They had a huge bust up in the Northwest the other day and testing the drugs that had come in there. The conclusion was that some of it had come from Venezuela also. So, this fentanyl and other things that are so powerful and killing so many Americans. It's just, plus, drilling holes in the foundation of America.
Juan, is this a new war now? I mean, are we going to strike within Venezuela? Are we going to start hitting targets in Venezuela?
Well, we'll be surgical about it, but yeah, they were exporting it out of the country, and they're in the open sea. They've been warned, and they're continuing to be warned. You're going to try and export any illegal materials, your terrorist foundations. Maduro, with the $50 million bounty on his head, continues to defy Trump and say, you can't get me, and, make faces and hang a BA out there.
He's a dead man walking. But you said on Nino'sCorner.tv, and folks, I suggest you go to Nino'sCorner.tv. We did 2 awesome podcasts over there connecting Obama with China and the Federal Reserve. This is crazy. So I can't speak on much of it on FluffTube, but we lay it out on Nino'sCorner.tv. But Juan, I mean, it seems now like this is a new war. This seems like the cartels are going to respond. I think they would have to. Or did we surgically strike them when we have them pretty much decapitated now, and we're pretty confident that there won't be much bloodshed on the streets of America?
Well, remember, Venezuela is exporting more than drugs. They're terrorists across the world in many ways. In fact, there's ties with Venezuela and Maduro to 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗃 in South Africa. And you saw what Trump did here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. He declared that 𝗵𝗶𝗃 was involved in terrorism, sending money and support to the Taliban. And so he's laying the groundwork, getting ready to do the same exact thing he did with Maduro and declare that 𝗵𝗶𝗃, the president in South Africa, is also involved in terroristic activity, exporting terrorism. So you could turn around and get another 50 million on the next guy on the chopping block. And you have all the people around him who there really are a number of significant crime families, both in Venezuela and in South Africa, that are tag teaming together to affect the whole region across South America, across North America, same with the South African stuff up into Europe and across across Africa. So Trump is going to surgically go in and explain to the world who these people are, show who they are, and then give them a chance to surrender. They won't, and then we'll have to deal with them. So
we're looking at, are we looking at a complete annihilation here in Africa and Venezuela? I mean, completely taking these people out. And I know you were just in Africa, by the way. You were just there for a few weeks, which, by the way, when I called you one time, it sounded like a tribe of Africans got your phone and the bully. Hey, I just heard all this. I'm going to put that phone, I'm going to put that call on social media if you don't mind, because it's so crazy.
Yeah,
but anyway, I don't know who had your phone, but anyway.
Well, let me add this one thing. Think about this. Here's how wild it is. Anybody thinks South Africa not relevant? Who cares? I don't care about. Okay, do you know where this crew of DAs that want to go after Trump, district attorneys and similar, they went to do their conspiracy gathering about how to take out Trump? And you know where they went to? They went to Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow.
It got paid for. They went there. Uber helped pay for part of the bill. A couple of other big companies.
Allegedly. That's
with intent of taking out. Yeah. So, we got problems, and South Africa is tied into a lot of this.
So on Nino'sCorner.tv, you talked about the connection of China and the pallets of cash.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me just give you, I'll leave the main stuff for over on your channel just because I don't want to get you clipped here.
But you dropped some serious bombs on there, man.
Well, this is important stuff. See, in the payoffs to China, or the attempted payoffs, let me tell you one little story. In collusion with the Federal Reserve,
be real careful here, Juan. Be real careful.
Okay, all right. Unbelievable amount of money. And then they sent it over to the Baltimore Harbor. And a New York politician, everybody here is going to know the name of, that the New York politician made sure that longshoremen from New York went to Baltimore Harbor and did the actual loading, not the guys at Baltimore, the longshoremen there. They were blocked out. We're going 47. So think of, if you're a longshoreman, do you remember a time when they would allow longshoremen from another port, except in some kind of emergency or where you're, overstressed, to come down, push you off the docks and load a couple of ships, and you're just told to go pound sand?
Never.
No way, okay? Longshoremen don't play that way. for good reason, by the way. And so to have their jobs, them put aside, excuse me, then they have to. I'm still kind of caught up from the acrid air that I had there. Yeah, I was in Johannesburg, and the air is just horrible. It really messed with my throat because they just burned the garbage out in the open there. But the long and short of it is that the amount of money that was sent to China is absolutely over the top. Think of the money that went to Iran in the hijacked airplanes. We know who those airplanes belonged to. They weren't U.S. government airplanes. They were hijacked to send that money over to Tehran and Iran. We'll deal with that right now over the next few months. But now, here we found out that the money that went to Iran, think of something 1,000 times at least bigger than anything that went to Iran. And it went to China. What was it for? To help cook in 2016.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, I don't know what else I can tell you. And by the way, Nino, nobody else, anybody can say what they want. There's nobody else can give you gems like that, okay? That's not out there in the public. I've known about it for 10 plus years, but it wasn't time to discuss it yet, okay? So the long and short of it is that I'm giving you absolutely solid gold bars here. This is the stuff that's going to be part when the time comes. And when people realize, I mean, Trump's going after the Federal Reserve right now. Huge, big time, okay? Well, why? Because around the world, you have pallets and pallets and pallets and pallets and pallets and pallets and pallets of U.S. dollars, plus there's other currencies. And it was all intended to do the same thing to America as what we did with Russia when we bought up their rubles and then sent them back in at the end. They're trying to destabilize the dollar. They were planning on doing that. And these pallets all play in that. And whose hands were they going to be in? China.
All right, Juan, let's leave it. I don't want to go into too much work because it's you know what I mean by that. Folks, if you want to hear more,
nobody else is putting that out. Nobody else knows the details.
In detail.
Nobody else can put that stuff out there.
It's all allegedly, folks, and I got to be careful on the fluff too. But Juanito, thank you so much for joining me. I know you're pulling up to your restaurant right now, so Juan, thank you. We did 2 powerful interviews on Nino's Corner.tv. Thank you, Juanito.
All right, bro.
Okay, I'll call you in a little bit. All right. Man, so folks, this is getting big. This is getting hot. Boom, boom, boom. This is it. The fall, it's on. And it looks like I said, cartel warfare is coming. I've been saying this forever. When I saw the military, when they're pulling up in their Stryker vehicles, their Humvees, armored vehicles, I knew it was on. I knew the gig was up. I know what I'm looking at. Oh, it's to stop immigration. I'm like, no, it's not. This is war. What we're watching right now, what I'm seeing play out on the border is war. And bam, we took it to them, and 11 narco terrorists dead. And listen, you got to look at Trump's tweets, his posts. Look at that boat right there. It's gonna get bam right here. Watch. Look at this. Look at this happen right here. La di da di da di da di da da. Bam! You're gone. Anyway. Folks, all I can say is, and they're trying their best to fight back, and you got the dark side firing back. The deep state lawfare delivered some massive blows. The war's on. So 3 really big moves happening. I'm going to be talking about this with 𝗀𝗄𝗁𝗃𝗁 tomorrow. So 𝗀𝗄𝗁𝗃𝗁 is going to be on the morning show tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. And like I've said, folks, don't miss the deal. 50% off all products on ninoscorner.tv. I'm doing it it's a Labor Day thing. And I know Labor Day's passed, but I'm gonna keep it going for a little bit longer. Everything, even the general tent. He's not showing the general tent there, but that's also half off. That's also 50% off for a limited time. I may pull the plug at midnight or even tomorrow, but we'll midnight tomorrow. I don't know. See how I feel. Trump can't use the National Guard of California to enforce laws, make arrests. A judge rules. Why? Because California is the battleground. Newsom is the guy. Newsom is their quote unquote dictator, allegedly. So we're looking at this now, as all systems go, all war go right now. And it's going to, there's the reason why Trump, and when I was on Tim Cass, we talked about this. And I brought this out. I said, look, there's a reason why he has a no cash bail. Okay. No cash ban on no cash bail, because why? A lot of people are going to be going to jail. A lot are going to be going to jail. And what do they use? They use other systems, credit cards, whatever, wire money. Folks, it's going to be cash only. This is crazy. Do you understand? People are going to jail for this. He's getting ready. He's putting his pieces in position for the big takedowns and for protests. That's why he banned flag burning. A lot of you are upset about that. Well, that's our freedom of speech. But folks, what do people do during the protests to incite more violence? They start throwing the flag, burning it, throwing that around everywhere. Folks, more people are going to go to jail because of this. He's stopping them at their every move. These are preventative measures. Preventative measures. So when the first clickety clank happens and the protests kick off, they're doomed. They're doomed. Remember, cells are going to be activated to where they do their shenanigans on one side of the city, and then as all the police show up over there, then they do systems control and everything else on the other side of the city. This was all going to be very well organized. It was going to be all very well organized. And Joshua Reed speaks on that on 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏TV today. That's up right now. 𝗬𝗏 will be up. I'll either put it up tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm still got to upload it. But I did 2 big podcasts with Juan, and he's talking about, and this is very important, the old China connection. And this is huge. This puts it all together. And I've had Sean Taylor on. I've had Joshua Reed on just recently. If you get Sean Taylor, the mortgage fraud, the money laundering, and Joshua Reed, put those pieces together, you got a huge piece of the puzzle right there. Now, if you get the one part of this and the Joshua Reed and the Sean Taylor, bam, that's a big picture right there, all put together for you very nicely. And that's all on 𝗍𝗏𝗏𝗏TV, folks. I'm doing my best. I'm working my hardest. I'm following. It's like, this is a lot more exciting than just commentating a heavyweight championship fight or a big fight on television, because, then I'm watching 2 people fight, and I'm very passionate about this. But this is another level. This is like levels above boxing. I mean, it's a microcosm of this. This is world affairs. And this, I feel I'm commentating. So I kind of feel like I'm in the commentator chair once again, but I'm commentating on the big show, on the world stage. It's amazing. So, folks, the House committee withdraws Robert Mueller subpoena. That's number 2. So, number 1, Trump can't use National Guard in California to enforce laws, make arrests, judge rules. Number 2, House committee withdraws Robert Mueller subpoena in Washington. Number 3, tariffs suffer legal setback. The legal fight over U.S. President Donald Trump's global tariffs is deepening after a federal appeal court ruled the levies were issued illegally under an emergency law extending the chaos in global trade. Folks, it's picking up if you're paying attention. And this strike in Venezuela, the narco terrorists, it's game on. It's game on. And I'm here on the border. So, shit's going to hit the fan. And I think it's just going to be a complete annihilation. Now, if the cartels might want to respond, and I would imagine the way they respond is dirty deeds done dirt cheap, and we don't know how many of them are here across our borders, not knowing what they can do. I've always said my tactic would be, if I was them, and trust me, they've already thought all this out, but just make it as messy as possible for Trump. Make it as messy as possible. In other words, civilians, innocent civilians. That's how I would go about it. Alex, you there?
Hey, Nino.
Pretty crazy times we're living in, right, man?
Yeah, man, you said it. No, it really is. It's getting kinetic and literally.
I was waiting on this, dude. I was waiting on this. The military pileup I'm seeing on the border. I'm like, this isn't to stop immigration. Yeah, it's going to help. It's obviously going to detour it. But this is for something else, man. This is for war. And Trump is now taking the war. And now that whole post of the good night, exclamation point, makes sense to me now.
Yeah.
This is a way to kick off September, man.
Yep. No, that's what it looks like. And We're 2 days in, and it's already getting pretty hot.
Nothing's happening, man. Nothing's happening. I mean, I love those people. Nothing's happening. Folks, I do my best. Like I said, what's today, man? Today's Tuesday night, so we got a big show tomorrow. 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗁𝗂𝗁𝗂𝗂's coming on tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show in the morning.
Yeah, 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗁𝗂𝗁𝗂, and we'll put up his 5 stones, gods5stones.com. Help him out. He's going through a really rough time right now. But Jerome's coming on in the morning, going to be talking about a lot of this. He's the OG in all this. He's helping Sean Taylor get the word out. And Sean Taylor just hit the Gateway Pundit. There's a huge article with Sean Taylor on the Gateway Pundit. I should have sent it to you. But this is getting heavy. It's getting serious, and everything's coming out. Everything's starting to come out now. Folks, get to ninoscorner.tv. I got 50% off. The best I can do. It will only last for a little bit longer. And the 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗁𝗂𝗂 video connecting Obama to China and the Federal Reserve. Are you kidding me? Of course, the Federal Reserve. Who do you think printed the money? And it wasn't just one pallet of cash, by the way. Well, Alex, I think that was good. It's good to update people on what's going on. Cartel warfare kicks off. Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
We shall see.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, folks, Nino. I'm out of here. Alex, you have a good night, brother. I'll see you tomorrow morning, man. Get some sleep, bro.
All right, man. Peace out.
All right. Peace, folks. Later.